Welcome back to another episode of English Cooking, where I teach you English through cooking. Guys, today I want to teach you a recipe that I invented today. It's called Smokey, Wiener, Sausage, Hot Dog. This is probably my favorite recipe in the world. And you are going to be the first person in the history of the world to learn how to make this recipe. Now, you know me. I love simple recipes. Guys, for this recipe, you just need a few things. You need a long bun. Look at this. I bought this long bun from the store. I didn't make it myself, guys. So you need a long bun, and you need a serrated knife. Right? So this kind of knife with these kind of jagged edges is called a serrated knife. This is a serrated edge. Now that word, it can be pronounced in different ways. I've heard people say a serrated knife, or serrated, or serrated. I don't know. It's one of those words in English that you can just kind of say however you want. So we're just going to call it a serrated knife. Right, so get yourself a serrated knife and slice open your bun. Look at this. We're just going to start cutting this bun. Oh, yeah. And you're going to need some condiments. What is a condiment? Condiments are like things that you put on your food, especially for like this kind of thing. The most common condiments are ketchup, relish, and mustard. It's upside down. Should be showing you this way, guys. Mustard, ketchup, and no, that's this. What? That says it this way, but this one it says it that way. What? Should be this way, guys. That's weird. So this way with the lid up, it's written like that, relish. But this one is written, and this one is written like that, so you can read it upside down. Weird. All right, so you need some condiments. What's your favorite condiment to put on a hot dog? Let me know down in the comments. We're just going to finish slicing open our bun here. Ooh, look at that, guys. Now, this recipe is going to be enough food to feed a grown man. Are you a grown man? I'm a growing boy. Guys, I'm just a growing lad. Lad is another word for boy. I'm just a growing boy. So I need a lot of food. All right, so look at that. We got our sliced open bun. And you're gonna need, well, what was the name of this recipe? All right, the name of this recipe is Smokey, Wiener, Sausage, Hot Dog. So you're going to need some wieners. What's a wiener? There's a wiener right there, guys. So look at that. It says wieners. Wieners. So this is a wiener. So we're going to take out a wiener. All right, so we're going to slice open the package. This says, actually, it says individually wrapped. So these wieners, I think I need to take out of the casing. All right, so look at this. Okay, so here, two wieners together. Okay, now this plastic thing on the outside of the wiener is called the casing. Okay, so it says peel before eating. I don't know if you can see that on the wiener. It says peel before eating. So we need to take the wiener out of the casing. So how are we going to do that, guys? Well, we're going to slice it open here. we're going to see, yeah, they are in a casing. So some sausages are in a casing and you have to take them out of the casing. Right? So we're taking this kind of sausage out of the casing. There we go. It's out. It's out of the casing, guys. Set that aside. Next, we're going to need a Smokey. What is a Smokey? Well, look at this. There's a Smokey right there, a pack of Smokies. See, it says original Smokies. What is a Smokey? A Smokey is like a Wiener, except it's a bit bigger, right? So you can see here, there's the Wiener, and the Smokies are, well, let's take one out, okay? Let's take it out here, and then we can compare the size. So the thing about Smokies are that they're basically big Wieners, except sometimes they put cheese inside the Smokey. I think that's why sometimes they're a little bit bigger, because they have cheese packed inside. Now these don't. These are just normal, original Smokies. Try to get one out of the packet here so I can show you. How's your day going, guys? Let me know down in the comments how you're doing, how your day's going. I care about you. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of English Cooking. Hope you learned some English in this episode. Let me know if you learned some new words. I think you're gonna learn some new words, guys, here. So this Smokey is not in its own casing. I can just cook this Smokey without taking it out of its casing. Okay, so you can see here the difference, right? We got the Wiener and we got the Smokey. The Smokey is quite a bit thicker. It's a little bit longer. And sometimes it's packed with maybe cheese or something else. I'm not sure. So, now, both of these are kinds of sausage. Okay, kinds of sausages. This is a sausage, and this is a sausage. And now, our last ingredient is sausage, right? So the word sausage is just kind of the umbrella term, okay? There are a lot of different kinds of sausages underneath that term. So when you hear the word sausage, it's just a general term. It's not very specific, okay? Now look at that. There we got a sausage. Wow, look at that sausage. Now this is actually called farmer sausage. Okay, can you see the packet there? Farmer sausage. So yeah. Now all of these that I have here are all fully cooked. Okay, so sometimes sausages, usually sausages like these, it'll say on the packet, it'll say fully cooked. Some sausages are fully cooked. It will say on the package. Some are not. So just pay attention to that. Now, like I said, the word sausage is kind of a broad term for the category. Okay, so if you hear people talk about the umbrella term for something, it's talking about the name of that category of thing. So like, let's say the word vehicle. Okay, a word like vehicle, that's a very general word. It's the umbrella term for lots of different things underneath that umbrella term, right? For example, you could have an SUV or a van or a truck or a motorbike, all those different kinds of vehicles, right? What kind of vehicle do you drive? So just like that, I mean, the word sausage could mean so many different things. It could be, there's like Polish sausage, there's German sausage, there's pepperoni. That's a very common kind of sausage, especially on pizza. Usually with pepperoni, they slice it like this. It's usually a thicker, pepperoni is usually a thicker sausage that you slice and then you put on pizza, right? Or salami, or I don't know, so many different kinds of sausages. So sausage is just something like in this shape. It might be huge, it might be smaller like this, it might be medium sized like this. Now, sausage will always be pork unless otherwise stated, okay? So just be mindful of that if you are allergic to pork. I'm not allergic to pork, guys. But, so it will always be pork unless it's stated on the package. So if it's made out of beef, it's going to say, might say all beef wieners. Okay, or maybe chicken wieners, or chicken smokies, or chicken sausage, or turkey sausage, or sometimes even people make sausage out of game meats. What's a game meat? Do you know? If you know, smash that like button. You get extra points for knowing some advanced English vocabulary. Game meat is like wild meat. Wild animals like deer or moose or bear or other, this kind of forest animals. Sometimes people go hunting and they make sausage out of that meat. So deer, I've had deer sausage, I've had bear sausage or moose. I think I've had moose, or there's different kinds of sausage that you can make. Now, guys, should we use the word sausage or sausages? Like, is this a sausage or is this just sausage? Well, if we're talking about the kind of food that it is, if we're talking about like the substance of it, then we just use the word sausage without a. Okay, so this is sausage meat. This is sausage. But it's also a sausage if I'm talking about the whole thing, right? This is a sausage. So, like hot dogs. Hot dogs are probably the most common kind of sausages, right? So there, you're eating, if you have a bun, normal-sized hot dog bun, and you have a wiener in there, you could say, I'm eating a hot dog, or I'm eating a sausage, a wiener, right? Because you're going to eat the whole thing, right? You can say, I want to eat a wiener, or I'm roasting. Maybe you got a fire and you're roasting a wiener over the fire. Okay, then you say, I'm roasting a wiener. I'm going to eat a wiener. But if you're talking about the substance of it, let's say you're making pizza, okay, and the pizza, you need to put some sausage onto the pizza. Maybe not a full sausage, because most pepperoni sausages are like that big. So you're not going to eat the whole sausage. You're going to have just some sausage on the pizza. Okay? So that's the difference between a sausage and just sausage. Okay? Now, in this recipe, we're actually going to use a full wiener, a full Smokey, and a full farmer sausage. Okay? But if we weren't going to use the full ones, let's say we had a small hot dog bun, a normal-sized bun, and I was going to cut this much from this one, and maybe this much from this one, and this much from this one, and just put little pieces of them in a normal-sized hot dog bun, then I would say, I have a hot dog bun with some sausage in it. Not sausages, because they're not the full ones, right? So that's the difference between if we add the S onto, usually if you're going to if you can eat the whole thing, you add an S. Usually if you can't eat the whole thing, you don't have the S. So for example, I could ask you, do you like bananas? Do you like bananas? I add the S because bananas are something you can eat a whole one, usually you eat a whole banana, right? But if I ask you, do you like watermelon? You can see back there, I've got half a watermelon sitting there. I love watermelon. So I could ask you, do you like watermelon? The reason I don't have the S is because watermelon is a kind of food that you don't eat the whole thing. We're talking about the substance rather than the whole fruit. Does that make sense? So it's the same thing like with the difference, like let's say with cake and cookies. I could ask you, do you like cookies? Then I need to put the S because cookies are small. You can eat 1 or 10 in one sitting, right? But if I ask you, do you like cakes? That would be weird because you don't eat a full cake in one sitting, right? You just eat a piece. So that's why I would ask you, do you like cake? And do you like cookies with the S? Does that make sense? All right, guys, I'm just going to throw these on the barbecue, and then I'm going to come back and talk a little bit more while these are roasting on the barbecue. All right, so hang tight. All right, while those are cooking on the barbecue, I'm going to give you a quiz. Are you ready for the quiz? All right. What kind of knife is this? How would you describe this knife? And particularly, this kind of edge. Well, you better think fast, because I'm moving on to the next question. The answer is serrated. It's a serrated knife. What's this called? This is called a Wiener, guys. It's a Wiener. And what is... This particular Wiener has this plastic cover. What is that called? What's this stupid plastic thing called? It's called the casing. The casing. All right? Now, what is this kind of... What's this kind of sausage called? Slightly bigger than a Wiener. This one is called a... You remember? It's called a Smokey. Smokey? I don't know why they're called Smokies. Do they taste more like smoke? I don't know who came up with that name, guys. Smokey, but it's called a Smokey. And then, what about this? What's this called? This is a sausage, even though all of them are sausages. But this is this particular sausage is it's a farmer sausage. Okay, like I said, there's all different kinds of sausages. There's summer sausages. There's I don't know, like there's bologna. Bologna is like bologna is a sausage. Usually bologna, I think, comes in, usually it's a really big round kind of a sausage that I don't know. I'm not a sausage expert, guys. Now, I just want to mention that the word Wiener and the word sausage are also slang terms for a man's... So just so you know, it's sometimes in jokes, or if you work in a restaurant, you know, someone's probably going to make some wiener jokes. Just so you know that. So the word wiener and the word sausage can have that slang meaning. I don't know about smoky. I mean, you could probably use the word smoky as a slang word for that meaning too, but I don't think I've heard it before. But wiener is very common. Wiener is probably the most common used slang for that. The word sausage is a little bit less common probably, but you get the idea. You get the idea, guys. So, oh yeah, let's keep our quiz. There's a couple more things I want to ask you in the quiz. So, what do you put on your hot dogs? You put, what is the ketchup and relish and mustard? What are they? What's the umbrella term? Condiments. These are condiments. Okay, so, you know, like I said, for hot dogs, the most common condiment is probably ketchup, followed by mustard probably, and then relish would probably be the third most common condiment. Some people put pickles or sauerkraut or other things on their hot dogs. Now, guys, the term hot dog, it means a bun, usually not this big. This is a massive bun here. Usually hot dog buns are kind of small, about that size, and they're pretty soft. So the word hot dog means a bun and a wiener. Okay? But sometimes, well, actually, very commonly, people call wieners hot dogs. So this is a hot dog. You could call it a hot dog. Or when it's in the bun, that's also called a hot dog. So if you want to be specific, you need to use the word wiener. Okay, so let's say you're eating a hot dog. Okay, you're eating a hot dog with a bun, right? And then the wiener falls out onto the ground. Well, then you wouldn't say my hot dog fell out of my hot dog, right? You have to be specific there. You have to say my wiener fell out of my hot dog. Okay? So, but you know, it's very common that people call these individually hot dogs too. Now, what's it called if you have a Smokey in a hot dog bun? Well, then it's still called a hot dog, or you could call it a Smokey, or maybe a smoky dog. I don't know. I called this recipe Smokey Wiener Sausage Hot Dog, because each of these, the ones that are cooking on my barbecue right now, each of these are going to go into the bun. So that's why I called it a hot dog. But typically, the word hot dog means a wiener in a bun with some condiments. That's it. That's the basic meaning of a hot dog. So let me know which kind of what kind of hot dog would you want? Would you want a wiener hot dog, or would you want a hot dog with a Smokey in it? Or would you want a hot dog with a massive sausage in there? So we're gonna, guys, this is a meal for a full-grown man or a growing lad. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you that in my quiz question. What's another word for boy? The answer is lad. All right. Was there anything else? I was gonna mention something here. I forgot, guys, what I was gonna mention. Oh yeah, what is meat that is wild, like a deer or bear? What's that kind of meat called? It's called game meat. Game. I don't know why it's called game. Do you like playing games? I like chess, although I'm not very good at chess, but I like to play chess. Guys, what's your favorite game? Let me know your favorite game down in the comments while I go and check on our wieners. Nope, on our sausages. Our wiener, Smokey, and sausage. I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, I just pulled these off the barbecue. Look at that. They got a bit charred. Guys, look at that. Got a bit charred. You know what charred means? It means they got burnt. Okay? So if you're cooking something and it gets a bit black and burned, you can say it's charred. So my sausages got pretty charred. Look at that. Look at that one. That got pretty charred, guys. Now, I'm not even sure which one is the Smokey and which one is the wiener. Because look at that. I think So look at the size. They're almost the same size. This one kind of split open. I'm pretty sure. I don't even know, guys. I don't know. This one looks a little bit longer, but this one looks a little bit fatter. But they got a bit charred. Sorry about that. My quiz went a little bit too long. But there's a new word for you. Charred. So this is going to be great, guys. So we're just gonna put our recipe together here. We're gonna put our Wiener or Smokey. I'm not sure. Let's put the sausage right in the middle. Ooh, look at that, guys. Oh, that's hot. Just pull these off the barbecue, guys. Look at that. Perfect fit there. Wow. All right, guys. Now we're just going to add the condiments, and we're good to go. We are good to go. So we're going to start by adding some ketchup here. All right. Can you see everything in this? You see everything okay? Come on. There we go. Some ketchup. Oh, look at that. Smoky Wiener sausage hot dog, guys. Now let's add some mustard. Do you like mustard? Some people don't like mustard. Most people like ketchup, I would say. Oh, look at that. Yes. And we're going to add some relish. I love relish. I like most foods, guys. So, oh, wow. Look at that, guys. That is a monster hot dog. So there it is, our smoky Wiener sausage. Let me just rinse my hands off here, guys. Smoky Wiener sausage hot dog. What do you think? Do you love this recipe, guys? I love this so much, even though I haven't even tasted it yet. Whoa, there it is, guys. Nice smoky Wiener sausage hot dog. You want the first bite? You eat this end and I'll eat this end. Probably be enough food for both of us, right? Let me know, could you eat this whole thing? Well, guys, I'm gonna try, but probably make a mess out of it. But let's give it a shot, guys. You eat this end, I'll eat this end. Ready? Here we go. It's hot. Oh, very hot. That's delicious, guys. I have some ketchup on my nose. I got it off there. Man, that's good. Wow, what do you think, guys? Would you love a bite of my wiener? Do you like to eat my wiener, guys? There it is. Big, massive, smoky wiener sausage hot dog. I love this, guys. This is amazing. Look at that. Let me take a bite of this end, guys. I told you it's a mess. It's a messy food, guys. But is it ever delicious? Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of English Cooking. Hope you learned some English through this. And why don't you try to make this recipe sometime? It's amazing. It's so simple. You just need some Smokies. Or a Smoky, but you know, usually you can't just buy one. You buy a pack. A pack of Smokies, a pack of Wieners, maybe a pack of... Now, this farmer sausage, it came in a pack of 2. Sometimes I think the bigger the sausage, the more likely it's just going to come as a one If it's kind of smaller sausage like this, it's going to come in a 2-pack maybe, or a 3 or 4-pack. But the big ones, like the big sausages that you buy in the store, sometimes it's just one in a pack. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you'd like me to make in my next episode of English Cooking. So, with that, I hope you have a great day. As always, I love you very much. And as always, I'll see you over in the next episode of English Cooking. Take care.